So this is our squat progression using bands. Before we get into the progression itself, just a couple cues about squats. I mean, you can get into the weeds on all these different things you can do, but just one basic thing would be to try and always initiate the movement at your hips, okay? So if I were to sit in this chair, right? I don't want to do that by breaking at the knees first and then trying to fall back into the chair. What I want to do is have a good base, a little bit wider than shoulder width, toes out maybe a little bit, and I'm going to find the chair by breaking at the hips and getting my butt down. So once I find it, then I'm back up, okay? By widening my feet a little bit and my toes out a little bit, it's going to keep my knees from coming inside like this. This valgus position kind of puts some strain on your knees. So toes out a little, okay? Knees should track right over the middle of the foot. Start at the hip, squeeze the butt, and kind of tuck your tail at the top. Okay, now for the progression. We're going to start the progression from a band assisted exercise. When you get good at that, you would move up to body weight exercise, and finally you would go to resisted exercises. So for an assisted squat, the setup would be go around a stationary object. You want to make sure the object isn't sharp at all. Make sure it's sturdy. I like to go hands in the band. Then I've got like some added security. I'm going to get tension on it, and I'm going to sit in my squat. The band's going to help me up a little bit. It's going to pull me forward a little bit, but that's okay. Just think of keeping your whole foot on the ground. Reach the hips down and back. Come up, squeeze the butt at the top. Okay, the one thing weird about, not weird, but a fact about when we're using the band for assistance, the heavier the band, the more assistance it's going to give us, so the easier the exercise would be. So if a red band is not really helping you much, you can go up to a heavy purple band and do that to start with. Okay, if you don't want to use your hands on the squat, you can wrap all the way around the object, and you want to get in the band, and you want to be right up under your armpits. Okay, from here, sitting in our squat. Okay, now from there, you would just progress to body weight exercises. You can go just the stationary squat, here and up. Okay, as you get better than that, you can add some kind of jumping to it. So you can go squat, squat, jump. So do a squat all the way up and down, then add the jump in between. Always trying to land soft. Okay, when I get better at this, I can progress to just straight squat jumps. Okay, finally, we move on to band resisted exercises. So now the band's going to make it more challenging. So I take my band, easiest way to set up would be both feet on it. Bring the band up in what's called a rack position, like my elbows are inside the band. I'm right here, squatting, coming all the way up, squeezing the butt at the top. What you want to make sure of is that the band doesn't come forward. So the top of the band should never be too far forward of the bottom. I kind of want to keep them stacked on top of each other. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way would to do more of a deadlift variation. So I've got my feet on the band, I'd get it set here, squat, squeeze my butt at the top. So I'm getting that resistance into my hands a little bit. Okay, finally, another way you can set up, and it's definitely a little more dynamic, you need two bands for it, would be to go resisted squat jumps or squats. So I got my one band, right shoulder to left foot, and I do the opposite. So I come over, left shoulder to right foot. Bands across in the front, so I'm going to hold them here. Okay, you can go body weight squats. You can go squat jumps. You just want to make sure that the band doesn't slip off your foot. So again, just to recap, start from assistance to body weight to resistance. This is just a great progression you can do. So even if you're starting at ground zero, you've never worked out before, you can start to move.